The form public charge. I have been receiving so many questions despite making 2 videos about the public charge. So maybe I have to find another way on how I can be able to break down to you so that you can be able to understand. There are 2 questions people are asking which are related, and I'm going to answer them very clearly about the public charge. Number 1 is, how much money do I need to have in my bank statement or in my bank in general? How much money? Because every person who asks, how much money? How much money? They are forcing me to put me at the corner to tell me you need to have this amount of money. Another question is, I just finished high school, or I'm just a college student. How do I need to also to show the public charge? Am I eligible, or is this for people who are working? Does the public charge have exemption of people who are maybe 18 years old not to fill the form public charge, or you must be 50 years old to fill the public charge? What exactly does that give that kind of exemption for those kind of people? Welcome everyone here, EBM Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel before you continue to watch this particular piece of this video. This video is for people who have won, people who are still applying for the DV lottery, so that you can be able to understand what does that mean. There are a couple of things. Number 1, let me start with the question number 2 about I'm a student, I just graduate, I just whatever. So number 1, if you want to come to United States of America, you are going to be responsible. It's not about your age. We don't care whether you are 19 years old or you are 100 years old. As long as you have won the DV lottery, as long as you are applying for the green card, immigrant visa to come to America, you have to prove that you are not going to be a burden. You are not going to be a public disturbance, a public someone depending on the US government to get public support, to get food stamp, to get cash aid, to get Medicaid. That's the purpose. Why? Because you have never been to the United States before. You are not a taxpayer before. These benefits which we are talking about are the benefits which are given to people who have paid the taxes already. So basically, when they give me, for instance, unemployment benefits, when they give me food stamp, is part of my tax. As an American citizen or as a green card holder, someone is a taxpayer. So will be allowed to be given those benefits. So you cannot come here on the first day in America, you have never contributed anything on because you have never worked here, and you want from day 1 to ask for those kind of public benefits. Where are they going to give to you? Remember, United States is not a socialist country. So if you are coming here, you have to prove that I will never go to ask for public support. Not forever. Basically, if you become a taxpayer after some time, you fell down, like you don't have those kind of benefits, they'll give you those benefits. But we don't want to arrive on the first day, the first month, you are going to ask for these benefits because you have never contributed anything on the matter of paying the taxes to the federal government or the state government. So that is number 1. So it doesn't matter whether you are a child, you are a college student, high school education, whatever, or you are PhD, whatever, you'll be subjected to the public charge. That's number 1 thing you need to know. Then let me go to the bigger question. How much money do you need to have? The first thing you need to note is public charge is not equal to how much money. It's not equal to bank statement. Why people are so obsessed about the bank statement and how much money you need to have in the bank, I can tell you why. Many people are used to what we call non-immigrant visas. You come as a student, for instance. So if you apply to the United States as a student, in the application, when you apply to this university, they will tell you this is the school fees and these are the cost of living. So school fees maybe is 15,000, cost of living maybe 8,000, this fees whatever, in total you need to have 25,000. So in order to get what you call I-20, the I-20 admission in I-20, which will be used to get the visa, a student visa, it means you have to show amount of money which is equivalent to the cost of living or your stipend, whatever, how you are going to live here in the US, plus the education, tuition and fees. So that's why they give you a fixed amount. You must have a minimum maybe 20,000. You must have a minimum 15,000. You must have 25,000, because those are school fees and the money on how you are going to live in America. So because of that, people think that all type of visas, they have a set number of amount of money. Even in student visas, there is no set amount of money. It will depend on the school fees. If you go to a school, the school fees is 30,000, and the cost of living of California maybe is 20,000. You need to have a bank statement of 50,000. But if you go to the community college, it will be 5,000. Cost of living maybe 6,000, whatever. It you can go on the 15,000 bank statement. So bank statement for students differ from one university to another, from one city to another, based on those factors. But that is not equal to public charge. When you are coming as immigrant visa, you are coming as a permanent resident. Because when you are coming as a student, you cannot say, you know, I have a car in my country. How does that car help you in America? It will not help you anything. You cannot say, oh, you know, I have a farm in my home village. So, if you want to sell the farm and pay for school fees, you cannot bring those kind of assets so that you can be given the visa to come as a student. Yes, you can use those assets to say that you will be coming back to your home country, but you cannot use that one is equivalent to school fees, tuition and fees in America for that particular school. They will never give you I-20. You have to show actual money in the bank with the bank statement. So because of that confusion, people think that when you come to public charge, it's all about money. No, it's not all about money. Money is one of the items if you want to use it. What you need to show assets. And in that public charge form is DS 5540, and I'll put the video below here, which I show how to fill the form, or the link of the form if you want. You can see the form. The form has so many items which are considered as assets. You need to have enough assets that I will not depend on the US government upon arriving in the great state of the United States of America. I'm arriving in the great state of California. I will not ask public support from the state of California. I'm going to Missouri. I'm not asking the public support from Missouri. So what do you need to do? You need to have various types of assets. You can have a farm or a plot of land. Some people, maybe someone is in Nairobi. The plot of land is worth 20,000 US dollars. So even if you don't have any money in the bank, by having a plot of land, that's more than enough. So you see, it's not just about actual money in the bank. You have a plot in Mombasa at the beach. That plot is worth 15,000 US dollars. That is a very good something you can show. I have assets. I can sell my assets. I have a vehicle. This vehicle is 10,000 US dollars. It is an asset. I have this gold watch. Is an asset. This gold watch is 5,000 US dollars. You have to go to goldsmith, whatever those kind of people, to make sure that they are going to evaluate, to tell you how much it is, and they'll give you documentation to show that. You have a house, you have an apartment. Even education sometimes it will help you. If you have PhD, you have masters, but you cannot put your high school, this is my asset because I'm high school, it will help me. No. So you need to consider all those kind of factors. So it is not just amount of money. And that's why even if you go to read, they will say submit all the documents, and the consular officer will look all the documents and determine if you might likely become a public charge or not. Because this is the time when they are going to look all the evidences and they predict. Let me give you an example. If you are the owner of the soccer team, or you are the owner of one NBA team here, what you need to do when the time of the transfer, you are looking on which player because of 1, 2, 3, 4, if I bring this player, he will be able to do well in my team. But sometimes, you know for sure, if I bring the other player, cannot be able to survive here. So for that case, this person will be a liability, will be a public charge if comes to play at Oracle or play with the team like Golden State, the Warriors. That's why they went to bring Kevin Durant so that they can be able to win. Because Kevin Durant, before going to Golden State, he was MVP. So you are bringing someone who is not going to be a public charge. You cannot bring me and go and play for Golden State. I've never played basketball, so obviously I'll be a public charge. So that is the point. It's just like, remember, US is just like a team, a soccer team is going to recruit people, but you are coming here to contribute to this country, not to exploit, to be me giving you everything. So for that case, you need to have assets. Even if you're 18 years old, don't say, oh, you know, my father will give me the money. So if your father gives you the money, tell your father, give me the money, take the money be yours, and put in the bank account to be your money. Not showing you a bank of your father. Not the bank statement of your uncle. This is not for school that, oh, my uncle will pay for my school fees, they give you the visa. If you want to come here, your uncle said he's going to give you 5,000, tell your uncle to give that 5,000, put in the bank account. That's something you need to know. If your father said, you know, we have this kind of big store, this is a family store, but in the name, on the documents, the legal documents, there is no mention of the family, there is no mention of anything, it is under his name, so it's not yours. So if your father said, this is a family store, this is a family land, this is a family house, let go to a lawyer and write down your ownership of the share or percentage of ownership of that particular asset. Don't go to the US Embassy with words, oh, you know, this is our culture. We don't care about your culture. What we care is a legal documentation that this store is owned by so and so. Even Bill Gates, if Bill Gates doesn't include the shares to his children, those children don't own anything on Bill Gates' company. You must indicate, remember, don't think everything is African or Asian or Latin Americans. This is just American. They give things based on the documentation. Yes, my father is going to pay for me. Okay, how? Tell your father to give you the money to be yours. Put in your bank account. Oh, this is a family farm. Yes, how much do you own? I own 10%. Go to the lawyer and write10 that we have 10 acres, but in this particular plot, 3 acres are owned by so and so. Is something before I die, this I've already given, this is everything on my will, I've given to my son or my daughter, these 3 acres. So you go with a title of 3 acres. So there is no how much amount you need to know. You need to have. It will depend your level of education. It depends your work experience. It depends on how many are you coming? Are you coming as single? Are you coming as married? How many kids? All those factors, they are going to be considered. As I've been saying over and over, let's say there is someone with a PhD has 5,000 and someone with the primary school with the 7,000. Obviously, someone with 7,000, even if it's more money, is likely to be a public charge because it's primary school education and he's having 7,000. But this person is PhD, even if he's having 2,000. If I'm a consular, I'll go to give someone with a PhD because I'm trusting this person to excel in America quicker, not becoming a public charge than a person who is a primary school with the smallest amount of money. So just consider, just be, in order to make it easier for yourself, it's very easy. Be as a consular. Put yourself under the shoes of the consular. And don't put you under the shoes of the consular thinking that he's going to feel sorry and sympathy for you because you won the green card lottery. That's why they are going to select, they have selected over almost 100,000 people because they will not give you the visa, they will give the visa for people who meet the qualification. The qualification are education, work experience, and public charge, in case you didn't know that. So be very careful Don't go as a joke. Carry everything you have in a documentation way, not just, oh, you know that farm, that one, I bought that car. Oh, if you bought the car, show us the documentation. Don't bring the stories. You know the car came, it's outside, is waiting for me, is mine. Where is the document? And they are going to do the decision within 2 to 5 minutes, so they don't have the time to play around. Go with everything you have. Prepare all the documentation, so that you cannot be later starting crying when you are going to be denied the visa. So don't ask me how much money, because if you say how much money, I will tell you 50,000, because I cannot have exactly amount. It depends on all these factors. But if you have 20,000, 25,000, that's very good. But you say, I have 3,000. Really? That is below minimum wage here for a month. So you have to be a little bit considerate all these other factors. It's beyond just a amount of money in the bank. So don't ask me how much money. I'll tell you 20,000 if you have. But make sure that you consider all these factors. What other assets do you have? Can you be able to supplement? It's not just money. We are looking for so many things. So if you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, I'll also put the link for the public charge here, and even how to fill that form properly, the public charge form, it will be on the link below, on the description. So all the best, everyone.